What if you could place the same character into any world and keep them perfectly consistent from every camera angle? In this video, I'm going to show you how to use AI to maintain character consistency while controlling the camera from wide cinematic shots to reverse angles and dramatic close-ups. One moment you could be a detective gripping a revolver under a flickering streetlight, the next holding a vintage camera, carrying a glowing suitcase, lighting a cigarette, or ready to throw it all in and get lost in a bottle of whiskey. But it doesn't stop there. You could become an astronaut on the surface of Mars, a medieval knight, a late night jazz musician, or even drop yourself straight into the sitcom scene with your dog. And when you realise you can control the character, the props, and the perspective, you start to see that this isn't just image generation. It's the first step towards directing your own cinematic AI stories. Let's dive in. Okay, so let me show you how we did that. Today I'm using Claude Opus 4.6. I'm really enjoying using that at the moment, so this is what we're going to be using today. And it's also much better at coming up with ideas for scenes as well than me. So I'm going to put myself into these different scenes. And I've just prompted Claude ahead of the video here. So today I'm going to do a demo of Nano Banana Pro and how you can maintain character consistency and also view a scene from different angles just by prompting. I need an initial seed image and I have a photograph of a person I want to put in the scene. Come up with an idea for scenes, fact or fiction, that will best demonstrate these features. So it's picked a detective in a noir style rain-soaked alley, an astronaut on a Mars base, medieval night before a castle gate, and a jazz musician on a stage in a smoky club. So it's suggested the noir detective, and you know, it's saying, do you want me to give you a prompts for different angles? I'm actually going to try all four of these to start with and see where we go and see where we end up. But I'm going to ask for the first prompt, like the initial seed prompt for each of these different ones, and then we'll take it from there, deciding which one to go forward with. Okay, so here's the four prompts that Claude's come up with. Detective standing in rain-soaked alley at night, wearing long black trench coats, blah, blah, blah. Same for the astronaut, same for the medieval knight, and same for the jazz musician. So I'm going to take each of these and put them into Nano Banana Pro. So now we use a product called Higgsfield, higgsfield.ai. Reason I like it is because essentially you can get unlimited Nano Banana images to create each month. So it is throttled somewhat, but on the plan that I'm on you can do 8 images at once. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So what I've done first of all is I've given the Nano Banana a bunch of seed images of me. In fact, these are all AI images of me, so it's a bit meta in that I'm giving reference images that are already not really me here. But these are all bunch, and it's not great actually. Why should, you know, if you really want to get proper consistency, you want to show the person from different angles, from behind, from the sides, looking up, looking down, then you get, you know, much better consistency. But I've got a bunch of images here and hopefully you can get a close representation of myself in each of these scenes. Okay, so here's what I've got. Please place this man as the character in the following scene with the clothing mentioned in the prompt. And then we've got the detective. I've mentioned the clothing twice. I've mentioned it in the prompt here, asking specifically for the right clothing here. Be sure to mention the character's clothing in the prompt. I've also doubly mentioned it here because I know that Nano Banana is very keen on just taking the clothing. So I've obviously got this AI++ logo, I've realised, everywhere because I've just been using the same imagery that I was doing for the same purpose, and there's a risk that we'll have AI++ turn up in the images, but I will just mention here not to use the clothing as well that are in the reference images, and hopefully I'll get it right first time, so we'll give it a go. Okay, yeah, so I did. Don't use the clothing in the reference images, just the man himself. Okay, so let's see what Nano Banana came up with. So here I am as a detective. I mean, Nano Banana is blowing my mind at the moment. It's so good with the images. So the rain just looks so good in there. So that's me with a neon alley, which just looks great. There's me on Mars, which is good. This one you can't see me, which is not really the point because you want to be able to see the character. So I do really like the Mars ones. I mean, look at the dirt and stuff on the boots and everything. It looks so good. But probably not good for this demo, but I do love the images. The night is pretty good. This one I think I really like. The cape's, coming behind me, but with the sun in the background, just looks really, really good. So that's a candidate. And then there's me playing the sax in a jazz club, which I think looks great. And this one in particular, look at the sweat, beads of sweat and stuff on the forehead. I think it looks really, really cool. I really like this one, but again, I'm not sure if it's going to be the best to demo different angles because it's a very restricted kind of club. Maybe let's see the audience the other side. And then the night, I guess we're going to see like the landscape and everything. I think we're ruling out that one, and maybe the alleyway one. They do look really cool, but I think they'll look pretty samey from different angles. So maybe we'll go with we'll do the night, and then we'll do the jazz club and see what it looks like because we have to hopefully look out on the audience as well. And just for a bit of fun, I'm going to show you how you can insert people into an existing scene as well. So obviously these scenes were made up, they're brand new and created by the AI, but you can also insert a person into an existing scene. So I've got a cut from Friends here with Phoebe sitting on the sofa, so I'm just going to try and add myself to the sofa here as well. Okay, so again, I've just asked Opus to come up with a good prompt. So I've given it the photo, and I've said I'm also adding the character to the sofa in Friends. I have a reference image of the film set attached. I just want to add the character to the sofa again with the appropriate clothing. Please come with a prompt for that. And it's given me this, so I'm going to go with that and see what we come up with. Okay, so whilst they're processing, I'm going to go back to Opus, and I'm just going to ask it for different angles of the scene of the medieval knight and the jazz musician. So okay, so I've also decided to do the noir style detective as well, because it's adamant this is like the best option because of the what does it say, the noir aesthetics are well represented in the training data. So I'm going to give it a go and see what it comes up with. So we're going to get different angles of all of these three, and I'm going to go and also give the reference image from the first prompt so that it's got those to work with whilst doing that. So I'm going to download this sweaty one. I'm mixed feelings about which night to use, but I think possibly this one. No, I'm going to go with this one because you can see more of the face, but also I think if we zoom out, you can show how it kind of invents like the castle, because obviously he doesn't know what the castle looks like at the moment. So I'm just going to download those two, and then we're going to go for the detective one. Which one do we like most? That one or that one? I think this one. We'll go with this one. So we're going to download that one as well. So I'm going to go and add those three to Claude as well, or to Opus. So I prompted, please come up with prompts for different angles for each of the following scenes, initial reference images attached, and we've got the three different versions there. Let's go. Okay, how are we doing with our Friends image? There you go, we've got one, which is very good. They have taken Phoebe off, but actually, I mean, it looks great. I mean, it doesn't look much like the reference image. I was kind of expecting it to leave the same, and we've got this one now as well, which again does look quite fitting of Friends, doesn't it? I quite like this one. This one looks really good. Okay, we'll think if we're going to do anything else with that. Okay, so here's our different angles of the noir detective. So we'll go and add that. So we've got 4 different views of each. So let's do that. We'll go up and do the 4 different views and see what it comes out like. Okay, so it's actually 3 extra. We've already got the first one, so it's actually done 3 extra of these. So I've put this in here. So I said, please. So I've added the reference image of the detective that we wanted. I've removed the sofa now, and I've left the images of the person in there as well. So please change the angle of the scene featuring the noir style detective. Other pictures of the man are added for reference. Please maintain the same clothing and the detective is wearing, and also maintain consistency in the scene. So that's kind of belt and braces. It should do that anyway, but I like to just make sure, especially when I'm giving so many reference images that have that logo on it. Extreme close-up portrait of a detective in a rain-soaked alley at night wearing a fedora and glasses, blah blah blah. So that's the third scene. I think I noticed that one. Okay, so did I do the third one? I thought I did. If not, I will do that now anyway, and we'll see what they come out with, and I'll also do the other ones as well and come back. Okay, we're still generating the jazz images, but let's have a look at how the other ones came out. So I think if we take a look at the original photo here, so we used this one. The reason I used this one was just because it was a bit more atmospheric because of the smoke around here. The other one was quite good because it was face on, you could really see clearly the face. But yeah, I thought the background just looked a bit more atmospheric, and just wanted to show maintaining the consistency there. So this is our reference image that we started with. And now you can see just a slightly elevated view here. So walking down the street, this one's just standing still. And then we've got from behind the view. So now we can see what the person is looking at from behind there. So Blue Note and Delaney's bar. Obviously these two are different because they've been generated at different times. But if we were to then give the initial image, this one, and then give the Delaney's bar image, then you would and then ask for another angle, then you'd get the consistency from both of these images and then from any other angle. So you can start to build up the scene from different angles by providing a new angle and a new photo every time you prompt. So now we've got some really good close-up ones as well, which I think look absolutely stunning, particularly like that one. So it's just on a close-up view. What else have we got? Close-up view, behind view, and then elevated view. So those were the three extra angles that we got for this view. The night ones I don't think came out so well. I mean, they're okay. But what I noticed was it didn't really maintain the consistency of the shot. So you can see the knight is standing in different positions here. So it's kind of got the castle and everything the same. But it's not really maintained the position of the person. And that's just because, and really it's kind of started to slip there. This is the problem if you layer AI images on top of AI images as well, you end up kind of maybe with getting a little bit of slip of it not really looking like the person. But if I'd been a bit more explicit in the prompt, which I wasn't, I could say make sure that the character is still in the same position, if that's what you want, if that's what you need. So you could, I think this one did quite well. So if you look at it, I'm my head slightly tilted, looking a bit grumpy. If I go to the close-up of this one, it's pretty much the same shot. So I did it on that one, but if you want to make sure that happens, you can be a little bit more explicit about maintaining the position and head position and everything of the character, which we didn't do there. And let's take a look at the jazz ones. Are they done? They're not all done, but we'll take a look. So just as a reference again, we started with this one with a sweaty forehead, and we want to see different angles of this shot. So we can see, I guess this is a little bit further out. I can't remember what we asked for. Our audience point of view kind of shot. Got the side on. Maybe I only did one audience point of view by accident. This is kind of a side stage profile. This is two, but it's kind of not looking like me again at this point. Side stage profile. I'll do another audience POV and then we'll see what comes up with these ones in a minute as well. Okay, whilst those images are being created, we're going to come up with inserting some products or props into the scene as well. So I can insert different things into the images that we've created. So I'm going to take the original detective one, which I think is this one, or maybe we'll do it with the other one. Maybe we can do it this one this time. No, we'll do it with this one, and then we'll end up and we'll add some props or some products into here as well. So let's go to Claude and get it to come up with some idea for us. Okay, so I've attached the image with Opus here. Please suggest some prompts to demonstrate the insertion of props or products into the noir detective image we created. Attached. Be inventive with props or products, but make sure they fit the vibe of the scene. Oh, so a revolver, that's pretty good. I don't know if Nano Banana will be happy about having a gun in the scene, but we can try it. Zippo lighter, pocket watch, invented, and this is the inventive ones, unexpected, that still fit the vibe, a glowing mysterious briefcase, a black cat, product placement, a whiskey bottle, a vintage camera. Let's try all of these just for fun and see how they come out. Okay, so we'll go back to Higgsfield. We'll take a look at those images in a minute. They seem to have come through. So let's say please update. Okay, so the full prompt will be, please update the attached image of a noir style detective to include the following product changes. And then I've got the revolver pasted in there, so I'll do the same and create 2 of each for each of those suggestions. Let's go 1, 2. Okay, so let's take a look at these jazz ones while we're waiting for that. So we've got the 2 side ones that we've seen, and this one was a close-up from below, which looks pretty good. And then this is a close-up from below as well. Oh, I did 3 close-ups from below, I think, which is why we're missing the other one, I think. And the other one actually failed, so I'll restart that in a minute, just so we can get another POV from the audience one. And I'm just running the other detective one, so we'll see what happens when they come back. And we'll also do something fun with the friends image that we have as well, this one. If you were eagle-eyed, you would have noticed that I'd forgot to add the image of the detective into this prompt. So we've ended up with a bunch of other images that are similar, but they're not consistent to the original images. So I've just recreated those and they're doing that at the moment. So I just wanted to show you that I'd added that. And these additional pieces of information here. But what we're going to do now is also I'm going to use this friends picture and then just make some changes to that as well, just so you can see in place changes to the image. So I'll start by adding the friends image here by clicking this reference button. Let's get rid of the detective. Let's drag this one to the front because it's important. Okay, and because Claude is more inventive than me, I've just attached the image and I said, please suggest some product changes we can make to this image, including the prompt. So we'll see what it comes up with. I've got some ideas, but they're pretty basic. Okay, so here's the ideas they came up with. A laptop, a man with glasses sitting on a laptop, pizza box, a guitar, that's pretty funny, maybe playing guitar, an oversized coffee mug, a dog on the couch was something that I was thinking of, and board game night. So we'll just do a couple of these. I think like the guitar, the dog on the couch, and the board game sounds quite fun. So we've got, please update the attached image of the man on the sofa, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just going to paste in the guitar. Let's get a couple of those. I'm going to paste in the dog on the couch. Board game night. I'll do something really basic and really simple as well, so you can see it. Maybe we'll change the white mug to green, and maybe the green neon to pink neon or something like that, just so you can make like subtle changes. So we'll say change the white mug on the table to green, and change the neon sign top right of the image from green to pink. Okay, we'll give that a go as well. While that's working away, let's take a look at these detectives. So now, as I said, I forgot to put the initial image, so we've got different backgrounds here. Because I didn't give the reference image, but it's kind of done the same style. So we've got the revolver, a couple of revolver ones, the Zippo lighter, which I think is that image looks really cool. Shame I didn't remember the background. We have pocket watch. These pocket watches ones look a little odd, but they're okay. Here's on the telephone. Another one on the telephone. Revolver again. So these ones now we've moved from, like, these are the different scenes, but now this one's moved to like the original scene where I did give it the reference image. Now we've got the revolver here. We've got the Zippo lighter again, got a couple of versions of that. We have a very strange one. I don't know how big that pocket is, but that's a huge pocket watch, and so is that one. Here's the telephone. We have the glowing suitcase, which was an odd request, but we got it there in any case. And then we've got a cat, which the cat just looks too large, I think, in that image. He hasn't got the perspective right. It's missed out the other cat one. It's still doing it, but I think it might fail because it's taken quite a long time. We've got the whiskey. It's kind of added in the wall there on the right hand side, which isn't really part of the scene. In fact, that's messed up, isn't it? It's just got a little bit of wall there. And then that one's correct. That's what we do too. And then we've got the vintage camera as well. So caught in the act, getting photographed. So let's just take a look. I think we've not got the other cat one. No, that's still going. I think that's going to fail. But let's see how we go with these other images, and then we'll kind of wrap up, I think. Just as I said that, the other cat one did come in, but again, it's too large. It hasn't quite got the perspective right. So I think we'd probably need a bit more prompting for it to get that correct. Okay, so we've got our results from Friends now. So as a reminder, this was our original image that we created. Me sitting on a sofa in Friends. But then we asked to be playing a guitar. So that looks pretty cool, pretty convincing. Also playing a guitar, did two of each again. Sitting with the dog, pretty cute. This one, it didn't maintain the consistency with the person sitting. Again, you can, if you really need that, you can be very much more specific about that, but he's definitely playing Monopoly, and that has maintained the consistency on that one. Monopoly's not there. He did the neon sign. He changed it to pink and open, like the original sign was that. I could have been more specific and said, like, just change the green tube to pink, and that would have probably just changed the color rather than actually changing the sign completely. But again, that's down to the prompting. And that's it. So we have got our different scenes. I like the guitar ones, they look really good. So let me leave you with this. If you can achieve this level of character consistency and camera control using Nano Banana Pro, you're already one step away from something much bigger. Because once you can control the character, the props and the perspective, you're no longer just generating images. You're directing scenes, you're crafting stories, you're building worlds. And the next natural step? Fully cinematic videos, even entire AI-driven films, where every shot feels intentional and every angle feels real. That's exactly what we teach inside our school community. If you're ready to move beyond experimentation and start creating truly epic social media content, the kind that stops the scroll and gets monetized, we'd love to have you join us. See you in the next one.